Good evening, and thank you for joining me once again on this channel. As we all know from the latest developments, Donald Trump comes across as a deeply fragile leader, full of doubts, with ambitions that lean toward authoritarian control. Now, a full year after he started his second time in office, the real issue is just how far he's willing to sink. Let's put aside for now the clear violations of rules against profiting from the presidency and the ways his relatives are cashing in on his position. Instead, consider this. He accused Mark Kelly of betrayal simply because Kelly urged people not to obey commands that break the law. But when it involves his spouse and his fear of appearing unsuccessful, how small-minded can Trump really get? Well, this new report is both amusing in its absurdity and truly troubling. I'll walk you through it shortly. First, though, let's hear a bit about the recent feedback on that film about Melania. You might find this hard to accept. The rating on Rotten Tomatoes for her documentary has just been released, and it's dismal. She scored only a 7%. Here are some of the comments. I'd prefer to sit through footage of the Capitol riot again. Save your cash. And over here, we have the tough-talking Pete Hegseth from the Defense Department addressing top officers. If our opponents make the mistake of testing us, they'll face total defeat from the full force of our defense operations. Put simply, to those who oppose us, find out what happens. Then there's General Milley to ground us in what our armed forces truly stand for. We swear loyalty not to a monarch, a bully, or an autocrat. Our commitment isn't to someone aiming for absolute power. But Pete doesn't let up. He presses on. Those in charge establish the example. And it's not about relaxed exercises like gentle fitness routines. That sends the wrong message. It's unacceptable, and it doesn't reflect our core values. The rating on Rotten Tomatoes for Melania's documentary has just been revealed. She earned a mere 7%. Now, pay attention to his words on the subject of Trump's defense team and the instructions they're receiving. President Trump has issued a fresh round of proper directives, but exactly how far down can Trump descend? And those will be carried out. If anyone refuses, well, those in uniform will be shown the exit. And it doesn't end with Pete's remarks. From there, he stresses the need for our defense leaders to show real strength. They'll be overwhelmed by the sheer power of our defense operations. Keep in mind what Milley points out. We don't pledge ourselves to an aspiring autocrat, and Rotten Tomatoes lays out the honest assessment of Melania. Here are those comments. I'd prefer to sit through footage of the Capitol riot again. Save your cash. Under President Trump, our priority will be on combat readiness, deadly effectiveness, and holding people responsible. Sure, Pete, is that truly your main concern? Because in this fresh report, it's astonishing. What exactly are service members being directed to prioritize? Yes, that's correct. Pushing troops to attend the screening of Melania's film. How much lower can things get? Take a look at this major update. A key development. An organization focused on faith rights claims that American troops were urged by their superiors to watch Melania. Highlights from the report. The Group for Military Religious Freedom states that personnel in the armed forces sensed strong encouragement to view the film. The foundation reports getting these accounts from troops at 8 different installations. In a message reviewed by reporters, a serving enlisted person mentioned that their group leader recommended attending the movie. It dominated discussions over the past few days. Melania, the streaming service's feature on former First Lady Melania Trump, exceeded projections in ticket sales, ranking among top nonfiction releases lately with an initial weekend haul of $7 million from over 1,700 locations. Though recovering its $75 million budget remains uncertain. Even with poor feedback from reviewers, the figures indicate that viewers showed up for Melania in solidarity with her. However, one support organization argues the situation might be more nuanced. Mikey Weinstein, who leads and started the Military Religious Freedom Foundation, explained that his team heard from 8 global sites where American troops felt compelled to watch Melania. He said, "Folks are worried," noting he's a past Air Force member and lawyer, and his organization includes close to 100,000 active and retired military people, advocating for those who experience unfair pushes toward religious practices that violate the Constitution. He added, "They felt pushed to attend the screening. Also, your boss in uniform isn't like a supervisor at a fast food spot or coffee shop. They hold absolute authority over your life." In a message that Weinstein provided to journalists, a current enlisted service member wrote, representing many in their group and their loved ones who sensed coercion from their group leader to see the film. The foundation kept the sender's identity private. In that message, the individual explained that their leader proposed the group and their families come along with him, his spouse, and kids to a viewing of Melania at a theater outside the base. The event was labeled as one of the leader's group morale boosters, which could include things like sports games, outdoor meals, or film outings. The message noted that the sender indicated the group must participate in at least 3 out of 4 such morale events each month or deal with consequences. When questioned if any who reached out to the foundation avoided the film, Weinstein replied, "All our contacts who approached us either attended or claimed illness at the last minute." For a response, a Defense Department spokesperson informed journalists, "There's no official defense order mandating troops to view this movie, although it's an excellent one. I've reported on countless issues, and we've all witnessed plenty of Donald Trump's small acts of spite, from his latest clip to those generated images of him mocking demonstrators at opposition events and so on. Throughout, it's clear that Donald Trump shows the self-control of a young child." But now he's instructing defense officials to require their teams to attend a film just so his spouse avoids the shame of it flopping entirely. That's the level of attention this leader is giving right now. Incredible. If you appreciate this, please hit like, pass it along, and keep alert.